Hey Puppy Trades! This video is going to serve as an Elliott Wave tutorial and also an options screening tutorial. So we're going to get right into it. This is the Unusual Stock Options Volume tab. I made a video about the top two option screens recently. Great one to go check it out. I can see you guys did. And thank you so much for liking that video. If I had to give a third screen, this would definitely be competing in the top three, certainly in the top five. So this is also free unusual stock options volume. What I did, I sorted by the lowest put to call ratio. I refreshed, and then I sorted by the highest 1 month volume percentage change. This is the list. Immediately, we see a big theme in the materials sector, the commodity sector, Enbridge, energy, Origin Materials, Corning. We're going to go over Massive Holdings and another stock in this video, Mosaic, MOS. And so those are going to be on the gauntlet. Here's what we got. Airbnb, Archer Aviation, Verizon, Getty Images, Mativ, Mosaic, AI. We're going to go over a follow the leader setup potentially with American Airlines. We have two massive leaders really and under the radar. I didn't see these tickers trend once on StockTwits. I hardly heard about this. United Airlines and Delta Airlines. Oh my goodness. Holy leader. And obviously, one of the tightest correlated sectors there is the airline sector. So that's a interesting thing we'll probably end the video with. This is going to be a little longer video, and I'm excited for it. So we're going to start with Mativ. We see it had 440% unusual options volume, 99% call bias. So very interesting. Very clear direction, right? Mativ. Let's look at some of these fundamentals real quick. Negative 6.73 interest coverage ratio. Negative 15% profit margin. That's not very good. That's not good at all. 0.80 book value. And there is a dividend. See what the yield is here. The dividend yield is 3.25%. And the payout ratio is 48%. That's going to need to be compared with the rest of the industry. Mativ Holdings is a specialty materials company. It offers a wide range of critical components and engineered solutions. The company's operating segments include advanced technical materials and fiber-based solutions. Advanced technical materials business units include filtration, protective solutions, release liners, healthcare, and industrials. So we're going to get into the Elliott Wave. Let's see what they bought first, actually. Book value is 0.80. That's pretty good. And the price to sales ratio is extremely low. So this company is having financial problems, and that has driven the value by all, basically all metrics down to what would be called a value stock. 0.80 book value and a 0.35 price to sales ratio. It could certainly be one of those interest rate lowering plays. It could be a geopolitical play, a black swan play. Anyway, Mativ holding the Elliott Wave is very beautiful. 1, 2, big wave. 3, highest high on the RSI, I think. 83.77, 83.13. Within wave 3, a shallow wave 4. Let's make sure we have that wave 4 label right. A shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 that ends with momentum divergence. Then a B, C correction. It's a tricky A, B, C correction because this connector wave, wave B, is subdivided with an expanded flat, A, B, C. Expanded flat is when wave B breaks the beginning of wave A. So that's a pretty advanced A, B, C connector wave for wave B. I took the 100 to 127.2% extensions of the length of wave A, placed at the wave B high. And that's where we get possibly this correction is ending. Let's make sure we know what this person bought. We'll see the options right now. The implied volatility rank 28, 24%. That's not too high. It's kind of high. Airbnb is going to be the lowest IV rank in this video, I think. Oh man, so it's very clear, very obvious what they bought. They bought 20,000-ish contracts, 20,100 contracts. That's probably not an accident. 20,100 contracts. So maybe this is a Black Swan play for this 12.579 dollar a piece contract, the 12.50 call, and the 15 strike call. So they took a pretty speculative gamble. These are both out of the money, very high gamma, very high delta. Look at this low theta, 0.007 theta, 16 gamma. That's a lot of gamma for very low theta. So a little thing I like to look at if I'm ever buying options is the gamma to theta ratio. As an option buyer, I want gamma to be as high as possible, theta to be as low as possible. That's going to be with these stocks that are closer to 10 to 12 to $15, and with lower general implied volatility, not implied volatility rank or percentile, but lower implied volatility generally. Usually below 50%, say 30%, very, very high gamma, very low theta. All right, let's make sure we clean up this Elliott wave. Make sure we know the levels. 5 waves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1, wave A. A, B, C. Wave 2, wave B. So above this low of 10.78, it's a very tight level, but it's a very useful level. This guy is going to make a lot of money. Let's just say that. Wave 3, wave C in the long term can see it go all the way up to the 60s. Now, obviously, that's not going to be this guy's target. Maybe it is because he can exercise those options. But even if he just gets this turnaround 1, 2, wave 3, he could see this stock go above 20. This stock get into the upper teens, and his strike price is only 12.5 and 15. So I could see this guy making a lot of money on these options. So it's pretty clear to me why he bought them. So another stock, we're going to get the Airbnb right now real quick. Large wave 1, wave A from the IPO. A, B, C, wave 2, wave B. I included Airbnb. One of the extra reasons I included Airbnb is because it's done exactly what I've said so far. Now, some people might think that's bragging. That's not bragging. That is part of technical analysis to keep going with the winners. Keep going. If I make a prediction and I'm right, it's in the winner category. I average up. I averaged up on MSTY today. I unless I really am confident in something and it's a pretty new position, unless I'm really confident in something and it's a pretty new position, I am very rarely averaging down. The goal is to average up, have a lot of winners, and add to the winners, 148.64. But that only works with diversification. That only works with diversification because adding to the winners and being in one sector is where things get really nasty. 110.38. The reason I'm getting these fibs is just for this purpose of this downside level. The 78.6% fib of 118.57 is going to be the acting invalidation. The original invalidation was 100.76 to 103.5. That held. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, wave A, and A, B, C, wave 2, wave B. Very beautiful. The length of wave 1A places the wave 2B low can see a wave 3C up into close to 200. So that's an Airbnb above 118.57 is kind of the moved up stop, so to speak, from the original invalidation. Remember, those are all just Elliott wave terms, and they're never, ever recommendations to buy or sell. We look at this right here, 4.86, and I absolutely do not care if that ever gets old. Me reminding that, I don't. $3.26 for Archer Aviation. This actually came from you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope it gets sick. I hope it gets really old. I hope it gets really old. One, two, three, four, five, wave one. ABC, wave two. I used to watch Ridiculousness, man. I wanted to do those backflips. I wanted to ignore those warnings, and I wanted to be like Travis Pastrana. Hey, I'm gonna jump out of this plane without a parachute, and some guys are gonna come glide and get me. But then I called Travis Pastrana, and I was like, "Hey, uh, does anyone share that risk with you? You know, if they don't come get you, and you just splat?" And he said, "Nah," and I was like, "Oh crap, I'm gonna listen to that warning." 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave one. ABC, wave two. Above the new invalidation. Above this invalidation of 3.26. Archer Aviation can enter wave three. You guys requested this, but not all of you might remember what Archer Aviation is. Archer Aviation is involved in designing and developing electric vehicle takeoff and landing aircraft for use in urban air mobility. Archer Aviation, formerly known as Atlas, is based in New York. So this company makes flying cars. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is the flying car company. It actually does have a little bit of a correlate, I believe, with Joby Aviation. They've been trading similarly. This is the electric aircraft for aerial ride sharing. This is like the flying Uber. So you guys are requesting flying Ubers and flying cars, okay? Sounds risky. Joby Aviation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 1, wave A. ABC, wave 2, wave B. And then from this low, wave 1, wave 2, really firming up. This is looking great. I'm glad I remembered this. That might be the thumbnail. That's beautiful. This is such a beautiful chart. Look at this RSI. This RSI just kind of proves Elliott Wave. This reminds me of BitDeer. I'm pulling the BitDeer card. This is just like BitDeer. 1, 2, wave 3, highest high. Wave 3, shallow wave 4. Wave 5 ends with momentum divergence. A, B, C correction. Wave 2, wave B. And then from this low, another wave 1 and another wave 2. Wave 3, wave C. Can be in progress above 4.66. Invalidation up to 4.66. Lovely charts. Go charters. I'll take a picture of that later, I guess. Yeah, no, you're trash. Don't beep at me. That's Joby Aviation. Archer Aviation. Just to remind. The flying cars, man. You and your flying cars. Above 3.26, Archer Aviation can begin a wave 3 up to 8.73. Verizon. They were buying strangles on Verizon and AI, according to the long strangle screen. So we're going to look at Verizon. We're going to look at AI in this video. Verizon. Let's just peek at these fundamentals for a little bit. They're really fun with Verizon. A 6.50% annual dividend yield. Price to sales ratio and price to book. Price for a little bit of growth, but not much. It's not at that 3, 5, 6 level. Interest coverage ratio 4.08. Profit margin 8%. 5% return on assets. 20% return on equities. All very good. Institutional shareholders 62% is moderate. But look at this right here. They've been growing their dividend for many, many years. They've been growing this dividend, and the payout ratio is 58%. It's a dividend grower. Interest coverage ratio is 4.08%. Verizon Communications offers communication services in the form of local phone service, long distance, wireless, and data services. You guys know what Verizon is. Oof. It is nice not having to talk about the stock market because, or when the NASDAQ is topped. That's great. Love talking about these under the radar bonus stocks. But I do have a special video about Bitcoin. I think you guys have earned that. So make sure you subscribe and like. I have a special Bitcoin video coming. Make sure to, you know, I'm pretty sure I'm going to release the Bitcoin video. I'm really excited about this position that I'm taking. So I think for the purposes of the channel, if I'm taking this position, I'm going to try to share what it is. But it's really special. It's really, really cool. And it's giving me a lot of upside exposure in Bitcoin, a lot of downside exposure in Bitcoin through an ETF that uses leverage and another ETF that sells out of the money synthetic covered calls. So lots of fun. The reason I pulled these fibs out right here were because if this is a wave 1 and a wave 2 from this low, this is 45.36. This low is 31.45. Or no, that's the 78.6% retracement. Sorry. No, this low is 30.14. I was looking at the wrong fib. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. A very clean impulse and an ABC correction that ended a wave 2 at the 78.6% retracement. That's what that black retracement is showing. This is wave 1, ABC wave 2. I'm looking for a large wave 3, wave C to develop. So I'm looking for that to occur. It's going to be the same degree blue as these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wave 1, ABC wave 2, above 33.40. I'm looking for wave 3, wave C to begin. I expect that's why institutions are buying strangles, married puts, and straddles on Verizon, but really strangles and married puts. Getty Images, another one from the unusual stock options volume. Getty Images. It had about 400 something percent unusual options volume. 490% unusual options volume with a 99% call bias. 1.90 book value, 1.52 price to sales. Seems profitable. Negative interest coverage ratio, might have a debt problem. Relatively low return on assets, 1.74%. Institutional shareholder, insider shareholder, nothing crazy about that. Negative income for the last quarter. So this is pretty speculative. What they buy, Getty Images is a preeminent global visual content creator and marketplace, which offers a full range of content solutions through its Getty Images, iStock, and Unsplash brands, websites, and APIs. Getty Images serves customers. So it's great. It's based in New York. Let's see. Or actually, that said it's based in Seattle, so we'll see if bar chart needs to update. We look at this right now. Let's see what they bought. They bought 2,900 contracts for the 4 strike for December. And then they start to get a little more responsible for the next expiration. That is interesting. Yeah, so 830, they all are the 4 strike. They're all these 4 strike contracts. Someone's really betting Getty Images is going to hit 4. Yeah. So someone's betting Getty Images is going to hit 4 by the end of the year or early into January. And they could be planning on exercising these options too, as always. We look at Getty on the daily chart. What I suspect they're doing is Elliott Wave. This high is 4.49. This low is 2.88, right at the 78.6% retracement. And then from this low, 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have this divergence this time. It's not always perfect. But we do have 5 waves, I believe. 1, 2, 3. And notice it's wave 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty clean. Visually, a 5-wave subdivided wave 3. Looks like an impulse. And then this is a 78.6% correction. Above 2.88, the wave levels are very clear. 2.88 is the invalidation to end the big wave 2 and start a strong wave 3. The length of wave 1 placed at the wave 2 low gives the target up to 4.60. And hey, look at his strike prices, right? Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. It's almost like he's doing Elliott Wave. Let's look at Mosaic Holdings. We'll get into what it is, but let me start charting it a little bit. So we got this 5-wave subdivision. Now, the only problem is I'm not quite sure where these downside levels are going to be. I'm doing this one kind of live. And it goes past the 161.8% extension. See, it's right there. Or is it the 100% extension right now? So it's a little tight. We'll see if the 78.6% retracement gives a level. Let's see. Yes, it does. Great. 79.28. 6.50. 22.07 is going to be the downside level. I believe those 5 waves up were wave 1. This is a wave 2. And above 22.07, it can begin a big wave 3 beyond 79.28 in the long term. So they were buying strangles on AI. I believe it was because this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, another wave 1 and an ABC wave 2. Too tight, in my opinion, is 24.20. Too wide, in my opinion, is 18.85. But 18.85 is the invalidation. This is a wave 1, an ABC wave 2. Big wave 3 to be in progress before a shallow wave 4 and a wave 5 higher. To complete 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves up. Since this is a wave 1 and a wave 2, this is a large wave 3 in progress. The subdivision is that this is 1, 2, and above 18.85, 3, 4, 5 in progress. So that's the Elliott wave of AI. Now, if we look at JETS, what we're going to notice with United Airlines and Delta Airlines, that they are appearing to be massive leading indicators in this sector. They both exploded above these relative highs, and that's very easy to see. So they've gone way past this wave one high. We have an ABC correction and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 1 for the ETF JETS and an ABC wave 2. And then from this low, wave 1, wave 2 is in progress. 16.48 is way too wide. So what can be done is taking the retracements. That's not the retracement. Whoopsie. Taking the retracements. This high is 25.05. This low is 16.48. This high is 25.05. So above 18.31 to 19.2 to 19.75, I suspect that JETS is going to follow United Airlines, and that's just the wave 3 target. In the long term, if there's a wave 4 that follows that tests the wave 1 high, and wave 5 is the length of wave 1 placed at the wave 4 low, eventually JETS can go all the way up into the mid 40s. So that's JETS, JETS, looking like they're going into wave 3. American Airlines very similarly getting ready to follow above 10.56.